When your rheumatologist walks in and asks, "How are you?" is your first response, "You tell me"? If it is, you'd be like most of my patients. I get it. I know what you mean. You're talking about your lab results. But lab results don't tell the whole story. When you are living with an autoimmune condition like rheumatoid arthritis or psoriatic arthritis, communication between you and your doc is fundamental to building a care plan that includes both you and your doctor's goals. Sure, the labs are an important data point, but nothing will tell me more about how you're doing or what changes we should make than you. So today, we're going to talk about how to start seeing yourself as the second expert in the room, how to communicate so your doc listens, and why shared decision-making is key. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Ortiz, and I'm excited to partner with AbbVie on this episode of Connected Rheumatology. Let's get started. The clinic room can be an interesting place. Whether we admit it or not, there is a very real power dynamic that's at play, and as the patient, we can often feel like the one without the power. I have watched strong, smart, capable CEOs, lawyers, and even other doctors cower when their physicians walk in the room. People who have no problem speaking up for themselves in almost any other environment just nod their head in agreement during the visit and then leave with none of their questions asked. We forget that the rheumatology visit is a meeting of two experts. One is an expert in the field of rheumatology, and the other is an expert of their body and life. AbbVie conducted a survey as part of their initiative Room for Dialogue, which is a program designed to help foster positive patient-doctor relationships. They surveyed over 400 people between the ages of 18 and 65 living in the US who have rheumatic diseases, including rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, and axial spondyloarthritis. And they asked them various questions to better understand the communication dynamics between them and their rheumatologist. 37% of patients surveyed noted that they wait for their rheumatologist to tell them when the treatment has stopped working. If this is you, now is the time to start seeing yourself as that second expert in the room. And in order to develop a care plan for you, we need your expertise. I try, Ortiz, but they just don't listen. I get it. Sometimes we can do everything right, but still it's not a good fit. But like I said, I've seen even the brashest amongst us clam up when in the doctor's office. So I want to be sure you are doing everything you can to participate in your visits and your care. What is it I and my fellow rheumatologists want and really need to know when we are asking, "How are you?" Well, I want to know about your symptoms, but more importantly, how your symptoms are impacting your life. This will take time and observation, but it's worth it. Paying attention to your specific flavor of autoimmune condition can help you and your doctor not only understand your condition, but also your triggers and flares. This will enable both of you to co-create goals and a plan that is realistic, aligned, and achievable. As the rheumatoid arthritis expert, I can tell you that RA tends to impact both wrists and hands and can cause joint pain and swelling. I can give you statistics on how often RA will affect other parts of the body and which care plans produce which kind of results. But only you can tell me, for example, that your right knee will also get swollen and that walking your dog in the winter becomes more difficult because of this. There is RA or psoriatic arthritis of the textbooks, and then there is RA and psoriatic arthritis in real life, your life. And in order for me or any other rheumatologist to best understand your RA or psoriatic arthritis, we need to understand how you experience your symptoms. In my little example, notice how the patient not only mentioned which joint is the problem, the right knee, and what happens, it swells, but how it affects their life. They can't walk their dog in the winter. Boom! I, as the rheumatologist, now have something we can work with. It opens up the conversation to discuss the knee in the summer and different approaches we can take to ensure Fido gets his walks even when it's cold outside. That same AbbVie survey found that 1 out of 3 patients said they struggle to describe challenges they have with their treatment to their doctor. So know that if you find yourself struggling, you aren't alone. And you don't need to get it perfect the first time you try. Take stock of your symptoms and how you have to make adjustments to accommodate those symptoms. And make sure to think about your entire life, work, dating and personal life, family life, and emotional well-being. It's all important. I know I am making it sound a lot easier than it often is. We get nervous in our appointments, we can feel rushed, and it can be uncomfortable to bring up certain topics. I can't guarantee every conversation will go perfectly, but I can say that those who begin the dialogue with their rheumatologist are the ones setting themselves up for a productive partnership. Communicating your symptoms and having open dialogue with your rheumatologist isn't just about having good appointments, although that will certainly happen, but it's about getting on the same page so you can feel good outside of the appointments. When we are approaching rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, or axial spondyloarthritis, we're always thinking about a target or a goal. How can we develop a care plan that will get us closer to that target? But without input from the other expert in the room, that target will be decided on solely by the rheumatologist. We can't forget that there are two experts in the clinic room. Two people should be involved in the decision making, which is an idea called shared decision making or joint decision making. When you feel comfortable openly discussing your symptoms and your goals with your rheumatologist, we now have two experts jointly determining what the target is, which gives you a better chance of actually hitting it. So for example, it may be your doctor's goal that a test result hits a certain threshold, but it may be your goal to dance at your daughter's wedding. We may make the assumption that achieving our doctor's goals will get us to ours, but that isn't always the case, especially with complex autoimmune conditions. So it's important we speak up about what is actually important to us. If we don't openly talk about these goals that relate to your life, we may find ourselves at odds when it comes to interpreting pain or developing a care plan. Being a patient comes with responsibilities, as does being a doctor. When these responsibilities line up, we can all benefit, and we set the foundation for a productive partnership. With transparent, meaningful conversations, doctors and patients can more seamlessly work together to make informed decisions. This means you move beyond managing numbers to actually meeting goals that impact your life. I only scratched the surface on what's possible and how to best open up communication with your rheumatologist. To learn more, I highly recommend visiting AbbVie's Room for Dialogue initiative, as it is all about giving you the resources and confidence to play an active role in your healthcare journey. By now, y'all know that I am a big believer that each patient can and in fact needs to participate in their own care in order to feel their best. And the Room for Dialogue initiative offers tools and resources to do just that. A link to this website will be in the video description, and we'll see you next time.